Hello again. Welcome back to my channel, Romel, Private Investigator. My company is Access Diversified Investigations, and I have something very special for you today as a result of, let's give a shout out to, here we go, a shout out to Favor. Subscriber's last name appears to be Favor, and I'm not sure how the first name is pronounced, but nonetheless, what I'm going to be talking about today, briefly, is the question was asked, where can work be found? So let's go swimming. And so to start out, for starters, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the MTA, the New York City Transit Authority, where every so often they actually do subcontracting with different private investigative firms, where you may be doing some work associated with a claim of one sort or another. So there's a process for that. That process is engaged with different degrees of qualifications and so forth. So a lot will depend on, to some degree, how long you've actually had your license, and if in fact you have something special or specific that you do. Another option in terms of getting work is the New York State Insurance Fund, and there you also have basically what you would be doing is looking into their procurement opportunities. Let's say if you go online and start your searches, and different application forms and so forth will be available for that process. You can get work. It's not to say that it's something that's going to be frequent. You will be in a competitive market. There are bids and so forth associated with some of the work that's done. You also have the New York City Department of Law. New York City Department of Law, maybe you'll be engaged in some degree of process serving and some other matters, once again, associated with various claims and so forth, where the Department of Law is representing one or more agencies in a matter. Now, what you also have is the New York City Assigned Counsel Plan. Now that's a specialty. We're talking about criminal work there. You will have a qualification process. You will be vetted for the comments that you make associated with your experience, skills, and so forth. So those are some immediate governmental options. Now there are other options out there. Clearly I can't mention all of the options, but once you engage the internet with the information that I've provided and will provide, it gives you an opportunity to get a sense of where to go. Now none of this is automatically accessible to you. You do have to go through the investigative process, as I've suggested. Now, there are even more options, and those are, if you can get engaged in one or more trade associations, but don't just sign up. When they have their meetings, get involved. What happens is, a lot of times, you'll have private investigators. Let's say there's a meeting. You have private investigators at a meeting. Some have small companies, some have bigger companies. You're engaged in a project, perhaps, or you're engaged in some issues that are to be lobbied by the lobbyists for the industry or the agency or the trade association specifically. And so what happens is sometimes the things that you say, the way you conduct yourself, will cause some degree of interest to someone. You'll obviously have a conversation, and somehow you may get yourself an opportunity to at least get the foot in the door. The license is where everything starts. Trade associations, you have the small businesses versus the large businesses. The greatest access to either is generally the trade association. However, you can also go to the internet, look up the private investigative agencies in your area, and just do a little door knock and see how things go. Another option, last but not certainly least, is attorneys. You can go from attorney to attorney. And there are lots of attorneys out there who have virtually no staff. They work by themselves. They need help. They're a little apprehensive because the help has to be effective help. But there are some things that the attorneys can actually teach you. And if you're a fast learner, they can accept the fact that you don't have any extraordinary experience. It's just enough experience to help them get through their day and enable themselves to go home to their children and their family. Because you'll be surprised just how much time goes into the legal process on both ends, investigative as well as any other given expert and attorneys as well. So that having been said, that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to talk so fast, I don't know why. Ay, 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 ay. But I really wanted to be helpful. I appreciate the audience, the subscribers. Feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, ring the notification bell so you know when these things come out. Listen, this stuff is critical. A lot of private investigators are not really giving you this type of information. It's not to put them down, but it's a very closed industry for the most part. So, on that note, dream with purpose, act with intent. Farewell.